All right, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. You want to talk about this and get on out of here?
Yes, sir.
Oklahoma and Oklahoma State in Bedlam. What a game. What an upset. The Oklahoma State Cowboys. Hold on.
Oh, my God. And here comes the hat again.
Bedlam. Bedlam. Bedlam.
This is why the show can't go over an hour. I'm kidding, of course.
Cowboys.
They played a hell of a game, man. They played a hell of a game. Look, I'm going to be straight here, and you got mad at me for saying this. Ollie Gordon is one of the best players in the country. He is the best running back in the country. That guy is so fluid and explosive. He can turn an instance of just no yardage, stonewalling defense into a 20, 30-yard gain. He is so freaking good. He won them that football game, man. He put them in a position to win. Bowman played his ass off. You criticized Bowman. You had a Tyler Van Dyke moment with Bowman. He proved you wrong. You got to apologize to Alan Bowman, man.
But what did I? So tell me, remind me what I said.
You said you don't trust him,
and I don't. Joe, he still went. Okay, he still went 28 of 42 for 334. Now I will give him this, man. Bowman made a lot of big throws, but Ollie Gordon is just the truth. And I will tell you, man, I tweeted this during the game. Oklahoma State wanted it more. Oklahoma State was pushing them around in the fourth quarter, and they wanted it more. And they are a tough, again, Joe, we talk about teams, right? I do think that Oklahoma, we had a lot of early hype for them, maybe that they're a year away. They just had a hot start. But the last 3 weeks for Oklahoma, they've been bad. But I'm going to talk about the winner first on this one. Oklahoma State can jump up and surprise some people. They're playing like one of the best physical teams in the country, yet another team that can run the football really well and play good defense. It was one of the funnest games I'd seen in a long time. That crowd, that stadium was electric, and there's no telling. This game might not be played anymore, man. And they had the last bragging rights on this one. Give it to the I'm a man, I'm 40. Give it to the people in Bedlam. Bedlam was going nuts yesterday, man. Good for them. They win it. And, Joe, have you seen the remainder of this Oklahoma State schedule?
It's pretty light, isn't it?
It's light. I think they got Houston, Oklahoma, Houston, UCF. Bro, they might be playing Texas in the Big 12 championship game now.
Well, so that's my first real thought about this is I think that they now have complete control of their destiny to go play in the Big 12 championship game. And I'm going to say it's perfectly plausible for this hot Oklahoma State team to beat Texas. And look, the problem is their lack of success early on was just purely because they weren't giving Ollie Gordon the football. It was all that. And I wonder if they fed him earlier, this team would be in the top 10 right now, and they clearly have weaknesses. They absolutely clearly have weaknesses, but their weak schedule could have allowed for them to have a TCU type season. They're not going to sniff the playoff. They're not, but they could really ruin things for Texas and they could win the Big 12. It's definitely highly possible to happen.
I agree. And look, man, I mean, you start getting to a situation where, Joe, we're getting late into the year. If they upset Texas, I think Texas needs Bama to win out. Because if you get
to help them with
because if you get to a situation where Oregon, and
Oregon beats Washington, the both of them could still get in it, and then also
I think
Ohio State, Michigan, same deal.
But here's the problem for Texas. Okay, if Alabama wins out, what do you do with Georgia? Are you going to leave out a one-loss Georgia team?
No, actually, I'm going to flip that on you.
Field goal, then what?
I'm going to flip that on you. If we got to think about this, if Alabama wins out, that actually prevents Texas from getting in. That makes a more chaotic scenario. You need Georgia to win the SEC championship
because, like
game.
you mentioned, they have the head-to-head.
Well, right. If it comes down to one loss Texas, one loss Alabama, they then
But
Texas has the head-to-head. Or
2-loss
Alabama, rather.
Here's the problem with that, though. They're not a better team than Alabama right now, though. They're not better than Alabama.
It's hard to say that, though, because over the past couple of weeks, they have been clearly hampered by Malik Murphy. And as we talked about last week, that team has had to completely rally around Malik Murphy. They played their asses off against BYU, but that's not sustainable when you're playing against a quality Kansas State team. They were blowing out Kansas State, and then they just coasted and let them back into the football game. I don't think that's an indictment of their talent and how good of a team they are. I think it's just they desperately need Quinn Ewers back.
I still think they're better with him, with Ewers.
Yeah,
but I do think it's interesting. Well, Oklahoma, look, their playoff chances are pretty much gone now.
There's no shot.
So they don't have the depth. Like, they don't have the depth, and I think they're a year away. I still think that I will tell you this. They might have the best recruiting D-line class in the country. Like, Venables has recruited his ass off. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. All right.